Good evening, my dear students. You all warmly welcome for the part 2 of emotion lesson. Actually, we have discussed about in the part 1 of this lesson what is meant by emotion and how it is, why it is heterogeneous nature, as well as according to Paul Ekman, we have identified that there are 6 types of categories. Basically, we can, even though there are a lot of emotions which are experiencing by people on this earth, but according to Paul Ekman, he has clustered these different emotions into under 6 important domains. Then after we discussed that these emotions are somewhat really affecting for the perception, behavior, as well as cognition of a person. And sometimes this emotion is socially appropriate, sometimes it's inappropriate. So therefore, when it is inappropriate as a person, we should try to manage our emotion. We should be able to control our emotion in a positive way to have a very good relationship with our loving people or with the other people. So we have been discussed about these 6 type of, but we have started only the first. We discussed only the first emotion, which is happiness, and we have explained about the different facial expressions and the body language as well as tone of voice, which will be which really link, which really associate with happiness. So right now, I'll be discussing sadness, the second important emotions, which was said by Paul Ekman. So actually, as a normal human being, anybody doesn't like for sadness, because we don't like to experience that kind of emotion in our lifetime, because sadness is inappropriate for the community, because nobody wish to experience this kind of emotion, because sadness is another emotion often defined as a transient state characteristic by a disappointment. Because when we, let's say, when we are expecting a good grade for examination, so if we could not be able to achieve our grade, then we'll be disappointed. So automatically with the disappointment, sadness emotion will be created, as well as grief when we losing a very a lovely person or a very close person to our life. So in that scenario also we are experiencing sadness. And disinterest, sometimes we are not interested for different kind of activities. So when somebodies are forcing for us to involve with that kind of things, let's say that, like, if you are really if you do not like to study frequently, then if your parents are pushing you to study and all the time, then you are, since you are not since you are disinterested, then what will happen, you will become sad about yourself and damped mood. So likewise, different scenarios, different antecedents are there for sadness. So like other emotions, sadness is something that all people experience from time to time. So even though we doesn't like for this kind of emotion, but as normal human being, we have to experience sadness. It's unavoidable always. In some cases, people can experience prolonged and severe period of sadness that can turn into depression. But actually, that point is very important, my dear student, because when we are continuously engaged with sadness, like let's say because of grief, because of losing our parents or a husband or a wife or children. So when we are experiencing this sadness continuously, so what will happen ultimately? It turn into depression. So depression is somewhat it's a mental illness. So when we go to that level, definitely we have to get the support from the psychiatrist. And we have to take some medicine for that state, etc. So therefore, that's why, my dear students, that's why, Pute, we have to control this emotion, because when we feel that we are continuously experiencing sadness, so we have to try to avoid that situation. We have to control our emotion, because it is negatively affect for physical and mental healthiness. Okay, write down a sentence. we don't like to experience sadness. We don't like to experience sadness in our day-to-day activities. We don't like to experience sadness in our day-to-day activities. We don't like to experience sadness in our day-to-day activities. Because sadness creates unpleasant circumstances or unpleasant situation always. Moreover, when people are continuously engaged with, when people are continuously experience sadness in their lives, it is badly damaged both physical and mental healthiness of him later on. It leads for mental illnesses. Such as depression, etc. That is why we have to control this emotion. Control this emotion to avoid negative consequences of it. Both personal and interpersonal level. Please underline both personal and interpersonal level. Why, Putte, I have stated that both personal and interpersonal level? Because as an individual, as one person, when we are experiencing sadness, it damage our happiness, and it make us uncomfortable always. And thereafter, sometimes we may suffering with headache because of the sadness, or body aching, and mental as well as physical, both we are suffering. On the other hand, when we are sad, actually it will, but the negative consequences is because we will not having a very good relationship with the other. Let's say when we are sad, when somebody is coming to talk with us, we don't like to talk with him, and sometimes we may scold. We may accuse that person without any reason. So that kind of things can be happen when we are sad. So because of that, the interpersonal relationships will be damaged between both of us. Okay, so that's why we have to control these emotions. So when we feel that we are really sad, so first we have to aware, yes, we are sad. So we have to avoid this sadness, because it is not good for health. It's not good for our mentality. On the other hand, it's not good for our interpersonal relationships. So actually, these are some the different ways that we can observe the other people is really sad when the particular person is crying. So actually, the several ways that the person can express their sadness, I have listed six type of here. But actually, given this kind of characteristics or observer characteristics, I have given because aware about the emotion is important, as well as aware about the other person's emotion also really important to have a very good rapport with them. So if somebody is crying, then definitely you should know that the particular person is sad. When somebody with damped mood, then you should know that particular person is really sad. So when the particular person with damped mood, when they are in lethargic mean lazy mood, and when the quietness mean actually it's a very good sign, because when somebodies are not talking with each other, when they try to be lonely in their room and shutting their doors. So when you noted that kind of behavior, definitely you should know that the particular person is really sad and withdrawal from the other. That's why I told you, when they prefer to stay in their room while locking their door, then they are really sad. So the type and severity of sadness can vary depending upon the root cause. Actually, the root cause, definitely we have to find out the root cause. Why? Because it may be like the education reason, sometimes maybe love affair, sometimes maybe accusing somebody who really close to you. So likewise, it depend on the root cause. So therefore, the severity of the sadness, the deepness of the sadness will vary according to the root cause. And how people cope with such feeling can also differ. Sometimes if we are not having a very good relationship with somebody else, then if they blame us, if they accuse us, we are not really sad, because we know about themselves. So the root cause may be like, based on the root cause, the level of sadness can vary. Then the other one is fear. Fear is a powerful emotion that can also be essential to survival. Okay, because when you face some danger and experience fear, you go through what is known as fight or flight. That means you try to respond for that. Okay, fight or flight. That means you try to away from that situation. So fear is really important, because sometimes if you are not fear for different when you come across with different incidents, if you are not fear, sometimes it's like inviting problem. Let's say in a place like in a market, when somebody is scolding you, like let's say a salesperson is scolding you when you are going to purchase some materials from me. So in that scenario, if you are not fear to talk with that person continuously, what will automatically happen, it's like inviting problem and may have some kind of conflict between them. So therefore, like fear is a very powerful emotion, and it's really essential to survive, because we have to be fear. But unnecessary fear cannot be guaranteed. So some people are really fear for very tiny thing as well. Okay, you are actually your muscle tense, your heart rate and your respiration increases, and your mind become more alert, priming your body to run from danger or stand the fight is really based on whether you are fear or not. Sometimes you try to run from danger, or sometimes you stand and fight. So it depends on the level of your fear. So my argument is, my opinion is, when they are actually, we can't talk with some people because they are, the way they think, the way they perceive is totally different than what we think. So in that scenario, just standing and fight is not the good solution. Better to away from that situation, because quick tempered may inviting lot of problems, and it may cause to invite different conflicts between you and the other party. So it does not mean that always you have to be fear. But if when in our lifetime there are instances where fear is needed. අපි කියන්නේ මේ මනුස්සයා කිසිම දෙයකට බය නැහැ. ඕන දෙයකට මැද්දට පැනලා කොයි වෙලාවෙ හරි හොඳ පාඩමක් ඉගෙන ගන්න. So normally we are telling like that. But that therefore, but some people perceive that fear is not good for human mind, human body. No, fear is good. But when it is necessary, you should be able to experience that emotion. So this response help ensure that you are prepared to deal effectively with environmental threats and expression of this type of emotion. Like, let's say, in order to face the environmental threats in a very positive manner, in a very wise manner, fear play a very big role. So these are the expressions of this type of emotion. Facial expression means when somebody is fear, he is widening the eyes and pulling back the cheek. As දෙක ලොකු කරගන්නවා. මේ pulling back the chin කියලා කියන්නේ අපේ මේ chins දෙක පිටිපස්සට යනවා. Look like this. Then body language. Attempt to hide or flee from the threat. Like sometimes we try to run away from that incident, and physiological reactions such as rapid breathing and heartbeat may be increasing. So likewise, why I am giving this expression? Because when you are experiencing this kind of reaction, when you noted the different kind of body language, facial expression of from you or from the other person, you should be able to know, you should aware that this person is really fear right now. Of course, not everyone experience fear in the same way. So according to their personality, according to their traits, according to their customs, according to their culture, according to let's say their level of motivation will totally change how the particular person experience fear. Let's say now, when we are walking on the road, we have seen a drunken person come to your side. Then some people are really fear and they go away from the road, but some people are not taking into account in a very serious manner and we are walking towards that person. So therefore, it depends according to your personality, according to your culture. And because if you can see that the drunken people at in your village at every places in the evening, then it's not a very rare scene for you. So you believe it's a very common scene. So therefore, you will not take into account in a serious manner. So therefore, that's why I told you, of course, that everyone is not experience the fear in the same way. So according to their personality, according to their culture, according to their family background, the way they experience fear will vary. Okay. Some people may be more sensitive to anxiety, and certain situation or object may be more likely to trigger this emotion. Some people are very sensitive. So sensitive to anxiety because they highly upset. So that kind of people, they frequently experience fear. So frequently experiencing fear also not good පුතේ. හැමතිස්සෙම බය වෙනවා කියන එක ජීවිතේට හොඳ නැතර මේක කරපොත්තේ දැක්කත් සමහර බය වෙනවා. නෑ ඒක මහ ලොකු දෙයක් නෙමෙයි. Take some Mortinet. Mortin ටිකක් ගහුවම ඉතින් ඉවරයි. පුතේ අර බොරුවට ෂෝ එකට බය වීම නෙමෙයි, සමහර අය හැම දෙයකටම බයයි. කතා කරන්න බයයි, ඉඳ ගන්න බයයි. So that is not good for to have a very good relationship with the other. Then the other one is disgust. Disgust means like normally we told pilikula kiyanadi. So disgust is another of the original 6 basic emotion described by Paul Ekman. So that person said that this is the way we can express disgust in using body language, physical reaction, and facial expression. So body language may be turning away from the object of disgust. පිළිකුලෙන් හිලා දකින දෙයට අපි මග හරිනවා. Let's say we don't like to see a greedy person. හරිම පෙරේතකමට කැම කන පුද්ගලයෙක් අපි දැක්කම we try to turn away from that object. Okay, so physical reactions such as vomiting or retaching. සමහරට අපි අප්‍රසන්න දෙයක් දැක්කම අපි වමනේ දාන්නනේ. So facial expressions such as wrinkling the nose or curling the upper lips. Upper lips curl කරනෝනේ. curling the upper lips and such as wrinkling the nose. නහය අකුල ගන්නවා කියලා අපි කියන්නේ. So ඒ වගේ දේවල් අපි අපිරිසිදු දේවල් දැක්කම we normally we do like that. So this sense of revulsion can originate from several things including an unpleasant taste, sight or smell. ආස නැති ගඳක්, රසයක්, දර්ශනයක් දැක්කම. Sight mean දර්ශනයක් දැක්කම the disgust come to our mind. So researchers believe that this emotion evolved as a reaction of food that might be harmful or fatal. ගොඩක් වෙලට අපි අකමැති කෑමක්, අකමැති තැනක් දැක්කම තමයි this kind of emotion comes to our mind. For example, disgust is a typical reaction when people smell or taste foods that have gone bad. So poor hygiene, infection, blood, rot, and death can also trigger the disgust response. So these are the possible reasons which trigger the disgust response, such as poor hygiene. අපිරිසිදු wash දැන් අපිට සමහර ගාලට ගියාම washroom එකට ගියාම හරිම කියන්නේ ඒක නැති බැරිකම නෙමෙයි. ඒකේ තියෙන්නේ අපිරිසිදුකම. සමහරට අපි දැකලා තියෙනවා washroom උනත් පුංචියට තියෙනවා ටයිල් අල්ල නැති උනත් සිමෙන්ති පොළවේ තිබ්බත් ඒවා පිරිසිදුයි. ක්ලීන් කරලා තියෙනවා. කොමඩ් බෝල් එක පිරිසිදුයි. කුස්සියකට ගියාම වතුර ටිකක් බොන්න පිරිසිදුයි. So but when we saw that poor hygiene places, infection, ඔන්න හරිය නරක වෙච්ච තුවාලයක්, blood, ලේ දැක්කම සමහර අයට පිළිකුලෙන් හිලා දකින්න, rot and death also trigger disgust response. කෙනෙක් හිතන accident, because of the accident when you see the death, the disgust creates. This may be the body's way of avoiding things that may carry transmittable diseases. ඒ කියන්නේ අපි ගොඩක්කට තව කෙනෙක්ගෙන් තව කෙනෙකුට තිබෙන රෝගී තත්ත්වයක් වළක්වන්න අපේ ශරීරය දෙයක් ප්‍රතික්ෂේප කරන හැඟීම තමයි පුතේ අපි කියන්නේ disgust කියලා. So when our body want to reject something, so definitely we engage with disgust emotion. Then anger. Anger can be a compelling emotion characteristic by hostility, agitation and frustration and antagonism towards others. So anger කියන්නේ තරහව කියන දේ. Like fear, anger can affect your body fight or flight response. අපි කියන්නේ අර බය වගේ තරහව කියන එකත් එක්ක ගහ ගන්න හරි එක්ක එතනින් ඉවත් වෙන්න හරි හේතු වෙනවා. Sometimes when we experience anger, sometimes we are having a physical reaction. That means we try to fight with the other person. Then sometimes verbal fighting happens. Sometimes physical fighting happens. Sometimes when we feel anger, we try to avoid that situation. We try to flight response. Flight කියන්නේ එතනින් ගුවන් ගත වෙනවා වගේ නැති වෙලා යනවා. So I think when you experience anger, the better thing is flight, not to fight. Okay? When a threat generates feeling of anger, you may be inclined to fend off the danger and protect yourself. Anger is often displayed through like different modes, different way we can explain anger. Facial expressions such as rolling or glaring, body language such as taking a solid stance or turning away, tone of voice such as speaking gruffly or yelling, physiological response such as sweating or turning red. That means අපි කියන්නේ අපිට දාඩි දාන නැත්නම් රතු වෙනවා. අපි ඒක රතු වෙනවා මේලේස්. අපි කියනවා muscles රතු වෙනවා when we are really angry. Aggressive behavior such as hitting, kicking or throwing objective. So අපි ගහනවා කාටද එක්ක කකුලෙන් ගහනවා එක්ක බඩු විසි කරනවා. So when you have noted that kind of behavior, like as facial expression, as body language, as tone of voice, as physiological response, aggressive behavior, the implication for you is, first, initially, if you have noted your facial expression such as rolling and glaring, if your body language, tone of voice and physiological response and aggressive behavior, if you are engaged with this kind of aggressive behavior, first you have to know that you are really angry right now. So if not, if you have noted this kind of facial expression, body language, tone of voice, physiological response, and aggressive behavior from the other party, you have to note that the particular person is really experiencing anger. So in that scenario, what you have to do is you have to not throw your words to him. අපි යාට වචන විසි කරන්න හොඳ නෑ. තරහ ගින් ඉන්නවනම් යා තරහ උස්සන්න නැතුව පැත්තකටලා ඉන්නවා. පස්සේ අපි යාට systematically explain what the very bad thing that he or she has engaged with. අපි කෙනෙක් ගොඩක් වල ප්‍රශ්න ඇති වෙන්නේ පුතේ තරහ ගියාම තව කෙනෙකුට අපි තේරුම් ගන්න එයාට තරහ ගිහින් තියනවා කියලා. Most of the family conflicts arise because of that reason. දැන් තාත්තට තරහ ගිහින් නම් අම්මා දැනගෙන ඉන්නේ කට වහගෙන ඉන්න. පස්සේ තාත්තව අල්ල ගන්න. අම්මට තරහ ගිහින් නම් තාත්තා දැනගන්න ඕන now she's experiencing anger, so this is not a time to convey my message, we'll catch her later. So likewise, when somebody try to withdraw from this competition wisely, then what will happen? We can help other person to control their negative emotion that mean anger. ඒතර අපිට ඒ වගේ අවබෝධයක් තියෙනවා නම් අපි කම්පිටිෂන් එකකින් withdraw වුණත් නේ ලැජ්ජා වෙනවනේ. මම මොකටද කටවගන්නේ? මම වැරදි නෑනේ කියනකොට withdraw වුණාම අපි නිකන් එයාගේ ඒ නරක emotion එක control කරන්න උදව් කරා වගේ තමයි, because when there is no other party to have some kind of conflict, then automatically the other party will keep her mouth shut. So it happens always. So teaching this kind of lesson is not to earn marks for your examination, but to open your eyes and to be a wise person when you are spending your lifetime with your loving or with the other people. එතකොට මේ වගේ විෂය මේ වගේ lesson එකක් උගන්වන්නේ පුතේ විභාගේ ලකුණු ගන්න විතරක් නෙමෙයි, ඔබගේ දිනදා ජීවිතයේදී ගෙදරදී at home, maybe at your workplace, on the road. So when you have noted this kind of expression from you or from the other party, if you experience from you, then if you have noted from you, then you have to note that I really am angry right now, and you should aware about your emotion and try to make necessary adjustment to control it. On the other hand, if you noted like these kind of facial expression, body language, tone of voice, physiological response, and aggressive behavior from the other party, so your responsibility is not to help the other person to control their emotion, and it is really needed. මම අර කලින් ගෙදර කිව්වා වගේ experience එක වගේ තරහගේ කෙනෙක්ට ආයෙ කතා කරන්න යන්න නැතුව පොඩ්ඩක් withdraw වෙලා ඉඳලා you can catch up him later. Okay? While anger is often considered a negative emotion, it can sometimes be good. දැන් අපි තරහව කියන එක like fear, anger, sadness, we label them as bad negative emotion. Okay? But when we talk about happiness, we introduce that as a positive emotion. So under positive psychology also, we are highly focusing on how we can avoid negative emotion and how we can go for positive emotion. So it can be constructive. So why anger is not bad always. It can be constructive in helping clarify your need in a relationship and motivate you to take action and find solution to items that are bothering you. එතන ඔයාට තරහවක් ආවම සමහර වෙලාවට very good example, that family example. So when you feel anger, what you try to do is initially when you anger, you try to find out the solution for the different activities. දැන් හිතන්න ඔයා දැන් ඔබගේ දරුවා, so your child may be not good, got a good grade for the third term examination. So you feel anger. Then after you experiencing anger, then you find a reason why she is not doing her exam well. Sometimes you find a reason. So with this anger, since you have suffered from that feeling, you try to find out the reason what is the reason for that negative incident. A negative incident creates anger for you, then you try to find out the root cause for that negative incident. දරුවයි පාඩම් කරේ නැත්තේ. Sometimes I could not be able to keep my eye on her continuously. Sometimes I could not be able to push her to study well during the examination period. So likewise, then you can find out the reason for that, why you are. So you sometimes it can be constructive. That's why we are telling constructive කියන්නේ පුතේ ඔබ තරහව තියෙන දේ සමහර වෙලාවට අපිට හොඳ ප්‍රතිඵල දෙනවා. In helping clarify your need. ඔයාගේ need එක මොකද? දරුවෝ හොඳට පාඩම් කරලා විභාගේ සමත් වීම කියන need එක. ඒක උනේ නැතුව ගියාම then you try to take action and try to find solution for this negative situation. So believe anger is not always bad, but when you experience anger, you should understand, you have to open your eyes, you have to open your mind, why I experience this negative emotion, anger. What is the reason for this? ඉතින් දැන් සමහර වෙලාවට කතාවක් ඇති වෙනකොට in your family, sometimes when you are having a verbal conflict with your mother, අම්ම එක අපි කියන්නේ කතා කරලා ඉවරන පස්සේ හිතනවා මම මේ වෙලාවේ කතා නොකර හිටියනම් හොඳයි පව් අම්මා, because when I asked money for her, she told me that she doesn't have, because she doesn't have, that's why if she has, definitely she will give it to me. Then she will find out why amma doesn't have money. අම්මට සල්ලි නැති මොකද සමහරවිට she has paid it for the different medicines of the grandfather, grandmother, etc. So then even though you are anger, then you as a person, you should try to open your eyes, why I feel anger, what is the root cause for it, and you try to find out the solution for it. So however, anger can become a problem when it is excessive or expressed in unhealthy, dangerous or harmful way. හැබැයි මේ තරහව කියන දෙයක් නරක පැත්තට වෙන්න පුළුවන්. මොකද ඒක සමහර වෙලාවට ඔබ නරක විදියට භාවිතා කරොත් කෙනෙක්ව විනාශ කරන්න, sometimes defamation අපහාස කරන්න, අපි කියන්නේ පද හදනවා කියලා වැරදි දේවල් ප්‍රචාර කරන්න. So if you are taking that anger for defamation, to destroy somebody else, then it's really bad emotion. So you have to, this uncontrolled anger can quickly turn into aggression, abuse and violence. පාලනය කරගත නොහැකි තරහව, uncontrolled anger can quickly turn into aggression, abuse and violence. ඒ කියන්නේ දූෂණය, වංචාව කියන දේවල් වලට යන්නට හේතු වෙනවා. හරිද? ඒතර තරහව කියන්නේ සමහරට මේ දැන් අපි මගෙන් ඒ මනුස්සයා හොරකම් කරා කියලා දැනෙද්දි සමහරට you are going to try to kill that person. So killing is a harmful thing. It's a violence. Okay? It's not good for you, for your future. Then the other one is surprise. So let's try to understand surprise. Surprise is another one of the 6 basic. The last one, surprise can පුදුමය කියන දේ. It is a shock definitely. Simply we can tell that surprise is a shock. Then this shock is usually relatively brief and it is characteristic by a physiological startle response following something unexpected. So actually surprise happen because of occurring an unexpected thing. Therefore, this unexpected thing creates shock. So you can write down unexpected incident, put an arrow, unexpected incident, put an arrow, then after shock is created. Again, put an arrow and write down surprise emotion created. So therefore, unexpected situation, then shock, then finally surprise. So this type of emotion can be positive, negative or neutral. So surprise can be positive, surprise can be negative, and surprise can be neutral. Let's say when you got through an examination, so suddenly when the news was announced by your parents or by your teacher, when your teacher said that you are the first of the class, you will be surprised, but it's in a positive way. Okay? But negative surprise mean like there are unpleasant surprise. For example, might involve someone jumping out from the behind a tree and scaring you as you walk to your car at night. That way, car එක පැත්තට ඇවිදිනකොට කවුරු ගහ ඉඳලා පැනලා බය කරොත් then you will surprise, but it's an unpleasant surprise. හරිම අප්‍රසන්න බයවීමක් පුදුමයක් කියන දෙයක්. So we don't අපි කියන අම්මෝ බය කරන්න එපානේ. Unpleasant surprise. So negative, that is a negative side of the surprise. So an example of a pleasant surprise would be arriving home to find out that your closest friend have gathered to celebrate your birthday. So when there's a surprise birthday for you, you will be surprised, but it's in a positive manner. Shock is often characteristic by the following. So as we discussed earlier, since the surprise because of the unexpected situation, like someone is jumping out from the tree and scaring you, it's a negative surprise. But when your friends are organizing a surprise birthday party, then it's a positive surprise. So let's see, even though it's a positive or negative, but anyhow shock is created. So let's see what kind of characteristics are in the shock. Facial expression may be such as raising the eyebrows and widening the eyes and opening the mouth. අපි කියන්නේ අර උස් කරලා S2 ලොකු කරලා widening the eyes and opening your mouth කියලා අපි කියන්නේ කට ඇරලා කෙනෙක්ගේ S2 ලොකු වෙලා when they are raising their eyebrows like this, then facial expression is that the particular person is experiencing surprise. Physical responses such as jumping back. So let's say when somebody is jumping down from the tree and try to scaring you, so what you try to do is you try to jumping back. So for verbal reaction may be such as yelling, screaming and gasping. Screaming කියන So when somebody is experiencing this facial expression, physiological response, and verbal reaction like the way I have stated, such as raining eyebrows, widening the eyes, opening the mouth, jumping back, or screaming, then you have to note that the particular person is experiencing surprise. So always believe that surprise can be positive, negative, as well as neutral as well. But anyhow, even though it is a positive or negative, so positive surprise is really good, but negative surprise we don't like. For that, it's unpleasant always. Okay, it's unpleasant always. But sometimes positive surprise also create different problems. ඉතින් දැන් සමහරට එකපාරම රටේ ඉඳලා පුතා එනවා කියන්නේ without informing to the parents. So when they saw their son, what will happen? It's an unexpected situation, and then shock created, and finally the surprise happened. So sometimes it is badly affected for the parents. Why? Because heart attack in the pulwa, pressure වැඩි වෙන්න පුළුවන්. So there are negative consequences of positive surprise as well. But in most of the time, positive responses are not harmful, but negative responses are actually not harmful, but we are really, it is really unpleasant always. Then other type of emotions, other than the six primary emotion which is listed by Paul Ekman, there are different type of emotions. That's why I told you there are so many emotions are experiencing by different people on this earth time to time. But I just want to inform you, my dear student, even though there are many, but some of the feeling he tried to identify further after the experiment. I have given few here, like enjoyment, contempt, contentment, embarrassment, excitement, guilt, pride in achievement, relief, satisfaction, and shame. Okay, so actually it's better to know about what is this emotion in a very simple manner. So let's say what is meant by enjoyment. So what is the nature of enjoyment? So what do you feel when you heard about the word called enjoyment? Enjoyment. What is meant by enjoyment? So simply when we talk about enjoyment, it's like normally we say it's like it's an action of possessing and benefiting from something. Like let's say when you try to enjoyment of a good wine, that emotion means happiness. Simply it is somewhat very similar for happiness. That feeling of enjoyment means that you try to enjoyment of a good friend, exact. Then the other one is contempt. So let's see what is mean by contempt. It's attitude or feeling of a person toward a person or thing that is he or she consider worthless. Okay, like let's say some people believe that they are really worthless. Okay, some people believe that they are disgrace. Okay, so simply contempt means some people feel that they are strongly feel that the lack of respect for themselves. Again, අපිට කවුරුත් ගණන් ගන්නෑ. අර අපි නොසලකා හරින කියන emotion එක අපිට දැනෙනකොට නොසලකා හරිනවා කියලා හිතමු, ගණන් ගන්නෑ කියලා හිතමු. So we are experiencing that emotion. So let's say when in a class, sometimes some people are kidding us always, and then in that scenario we feel that that mean the particular person believe that she is not worthy enough in the society. Contentment. So the feeling of contentment mean like it's a state of being happy and satisfied. Write down in front of contentment, the state of being happy and satisfied. Like state of being happy and satisfied, contentment. State of being happy and satisfied. Contempt mean contempt. The second one is feeling of worthless. Feeling of worthless. That means you feel that the other party is not respecting you, disgrace. Contempt means that you are not feeling that you are worthless. What in a What in nathane worthless. Contentment means state of being happy and satisfied. Then embarrassment is very embarrassment. It's a very common word we are talking time to time. So embarrassment means distress. So feeling confusion. Simply embarrassment means confusion. You are really confused. Like feeling of confusion, distress. So embarrassing means sometimes you feel shame you feel when you are guilty in made public. Embarrassing. So like let's say when somebody asks you to deliver speech, sometimes you are really confused. So you are really distressed. Like let's say in that scenario, that is the feeling you are experiencing when somebody is inviting you for a new experience, then you are embarrassing. Excitement mean like you how we can say excitement mean like you are it's similar for like a feeling or situation full of activity, joy and like simply exciting mean අපි කියන්නේ නිකන් බය වෙනවා වගේ කියලා. State of being excited simply. Then guilt you can understand guilt කියන්නේ නිකන් අපි වැරදක් කරා හැදෙන when somebody is accusing you. Like let's say you have participated for a party but unknowingly you went there. Then when you are mother said that I came to know that you have gone for the party, then you feel guilty because you said a lie to your mother. දන්නේ නැතුව ගියත් අම්මගේ අම්මා ආස නැති කෙනෙක්ගේ ගෙදර පාටි එකට දන්නේ නැතුව ගියත් අම්මා ඒ ගෙදර යා යන්නට ආස නැහැ කියලා. then අම්මා හොම ඔයා ගියා නේද කියලා we feel guilty. අපි හිතන්නේ වැරදක් කරා වගේ. නැත්තම් අම්මට හොරෙන් ගියත් we feel guilty. In that scenario guilty is a very negative emotion. Pride in achievement, like let's say sometimes we feel that yes, when we achieved what we expected, so we feel that we are really pride in achievement. So in that scenario, we are humbly happy about ourselves. So relief එකකට ලොකු ගැළවීමක්. Let's say when you want to support somebody else who have helped you like 10 years back. අවුරුදු 10ක් විතර වට ලොකු උදව්වක් කරපු කෙනෙකුට දැන් ඔයා උදව්වක් කරාම then you feel that it's a big relief for you because you have helped him before 10 years. He has done a great job for me, so today I got an opportunity for him to help, so therefore I feel relief mean like personally you are satisfied about yourself. Satisfaction already can be understand, that mean you are really happy about yourself. Then shame mean ලැජ්ජ වෙනවා කියලා. Let's say when you lie to your parent, බොරුවක් කිව්වොත් නිකන් ලැජ්ජාවක් වගේ දෙයක් ඇති වෙනවනේ. ලැජ්ජාව කියන දේ ඇති වෙනවා. So when somebody is accusing you without any reason, you feel shame. ලැජ්ජ වෙනවනේ. So because since you cannot prove that you are, if you cannot prove that you did not do it, so what do you feel in front of the others? You feel shame. Okay, so these are actually there are so many emotions, my dear students, but I have listed few here. Then I believe that you can understand the things what we have discussed. So yesterday we have discussed happiness. So in part 1, part 2, today we discuss about fear, disgust, surprise, anger, and sadness. Another 5 important emotions which are listed by Paul Ekman. So already we have discussed about the 6 important basic primary emotions, and we discussed about the facial expression as well as body language and the body reaction, etc. So again, I would like to remind you why I have given the body, like why I have the reason for giving the body expression, facial expression, physical responses, verbal reaction is Two reasons. First one is, first you have to aware your emotion correctly. Then after you can control it nicely. Second one, when you know about this facial expression, physical responses, verbal reaction of each emotion separately, then you can understand the other person's emotion, and later on you can help the other person to control their emotion. Okay, write down a very important point. It is really important. It is really important. It is really important to know about the facial expression. It is really important to know about the facial expressions. It is really important to know about the facial expressions, physical responses, facial expressions, physical responses, and verbal reactions of each emotion, of each emotion, of each emotion separately. Why? Because when you know about, because when you know about the facial expressions, when you know about facial expressions, physical responses, and verbal reactions of each emotion, comma, Roman number 1, you can understand your emotion correctly, you can understand your emotion correctly, and will be able to get necessary actions to control them. Necessary action to control your negative emotion. Necessary action to control your negative emotion. Roman number 2. When you experiencing, when you have noted, Roman number 2, when you have noted such facial expression, physical responses, such facial expressions, physical responses, and verbal reactions from the other parties, because of their experiencing negative emotions, within bracket, write down anger, sadness, disgust, fear, close the bracket. You can help that party to control their emotion in a positive manner. Write down an example. When your boss is experiencing anger, If you noted it, better to avoid that situation, better to run away from that situation, better to go away from that place, without asking any question, then your withdrawal behavior will help your boss to avoid anger emotion because you understood that person is really experiencing, anger in that moment. ඔබ තේරුම් ගත්තොත් එයාට තරහ ගිහින් ඉන්නේ කියලා ඔබ එතනින් withdraw වෙනවා. ඒ ඔබ අවබෝධ කරගත්තොත් නේ. So therefore knowing about the other person emotion is really important. So if you could not be able to understand the other person feeling anger, then you are continuously asking question. You are keeping on asking question. It's not good. It's like අපි කියන ඇවිලෙන ගෙන්නට පිදුරු දානවා වගේ. So then if you know these are the facial expression, these are the physical responses and verbal reaction of anger, sadness, fear, disgust, then you try to understand the other person emotion and try to take necessary actions such as you withdrawing from that situation can be demonstrated. It's a good thing for other people to avoid their negative emotion. So before discussing the three components of emotion, my dear students, I will show you a small video. I will show you a small video. So why we need emotion. Wait 1 second. We'll show you. Wait.
Emotions. We all have them. And
Wait.
sometimes we wonder why.
Very sorry for that. Wait. Not that one. A small mistake there. Wait, Pute.
Emotions.
Oh, no.
We all have them.
Wait. This is not the one. So this is a very small video which explains how to express your feeling. So actually, as I told you earlier, even though there are body facial expression, body language, so many things are there, but this is somewhat a very nice video which express how to express your feeling. Okay, listen this video, watch this video properly.
ABA Nursery Channel.
Wait, I'll skip the video. I'll skip that.
How to express your feelings. Are you afraid of sharing your feelings with others? Hiding your own feelings can lead to negative emotion and even physical unhealthiness. It may also cause problems with your relationships. Learning to express your feelings will help you become more self-aware, leading to increased mental and physical health. Here are some tips about how to express your feelings.
Actually, this video nicely explains how you can express your feeling, because there are different kind of feelings such as happiness, disgust, fear, surprise, anger. You are experiencing in your day-to-day activities in most of the time. So these are the few tips proposed by this video, how to express your feeling in a very proper manner. First, let's see. First one is you have to become aware of your feeling. It is a really hard step, my dear students. So you have to aware. Yes, you are really happy right now. You are really experiencing disgust. You are really experiencing surprise. You are feeling anger right now. You are feeling sadness. So likewise, becoming aware of your feeling is very important. If you know what you're feeling right now, then you can control it. Then if you aware about others feeling very well, then you can help other person to control their emotion. You can't control other person emotion, but you can help other person to control their emotion, such as in the previous example I have shown you. Withdrawing from that situation will help the other person to control their emotion. Let's see what are the tips about how you can express your feeling.
Becoming aware of your feelings. Expressing your feelings to others. Expressing your emotions privately.
So you have to aware about your feelings and expressing your feeling to the other. So let's say if you are really anger, if you are really sad, you have to tell, I am really sad about this incident. ඔයා කරපු දේ නිසා මට ගොඩක් දුකයි. ඔයා කරපු දේ නිසා මට හරි තරහක් ආවා. ඔයා කරපු දේ මම මට පිළිකුලක් දැනුණා. ඔයා ඒ කරපු දේ. So you have to express your feeling to the other. Third one is you have to express your emotions privately. දැන් සමහර වෙලාවට අදාළ පුද්ගලට විතරයි අපි කියන්න ඕනේ. Let's say when you are not really happy with the other person, if you have anger to that person, you have to tell it to only that person. මට ඔයා එක පුදුම තරහක් ඒ වෙලාවේ ආවේ. නැත්නම් සභාව මැද්දේම කිව්වම මට ඔයා එක පුදුම තරහක් ආවේ කියලා, ඒක it's not good for your interpersonal relation. It's like defamation. අපහාස කිරීමක් වගේ. So when you are experiencing a certain emotion, if the root cause if the root cause is there, sometimes maybe your friend, maybe your parents, so you have to tell it to your friend only, the relevant friend only. You have to tell it to your parents only. So don't express your emotion publicly. It's not good for you, for the others, as well as it is caused to damage your interpersonal relationships.
Becoming aware of your feelings. Learn the vocabulary of feelings. It can be hard to express what you are feeling when you do not have the words to do so.
So therefore, අපි කියන්නේ ලස්සන වචන පාවිච්චි කරන්න. දැන් තරහ ගියාම අපිට පාවිච්චි කරන වචන තියෙනවානේ. මට ගොඩක් වෙලාවට ඔයා කියපු දේ ගොඩක් දුකක් ආවා, තරහක් ආවා. නැත්නම් සමහර නරක වචන පාවිච්චි කරනවා, සරපරස වචන පාවිච්චි කරනවා. If you are using a very bad tone, that is not the vocabulary of showing your feeling. Your feeling, your emotion. So simply emotion mean feeling. So first try to learn the vocabulary of feeling. So it can be hard to express what you are feeling when you do not have the words to do so.
Try to learn words that make your feelings as specific as possible. Here is some example.
Look at this is the degree of emotion. Contented, then glad, then happiness created, then you will be excited, then ecstasis. Look, first you are really down from a situation, then you feel unhappy. So unhappy creates sadness, sadness creates miserable, and finally depressed. That's why I told you sadness can create depression, such as mental illness called the depression can be created because of sadness. So you have to understand the degree. In order to becoming aware of your feeling, first you have to know the degree of emotion. So from lower to higher level, down, unhappy, sad, miserable, and depressed. So please we should not take necessary action to go for depressed, because it's a mental illness. If we go to that situation, definitely we have to get the support from psychiatrist, or we have to regularly take medicine for that mental illness. It does not mean regularly mean until the death, but for a certain period you have to take the medicine. So therefore, that's why we have to avoid from sadness, since it creates miserable and depression situation. Upset, frustrated, angry, agitated, and furious. Startled, nervous, scared, afraid, and terrified.
Accept your feelings. Before you can express your feeling, you have to recognize and accept it. Feelings are not right or wrong, they just exist. Tell yourself, it's all right for me to feel in this way.
Always tell that when you are experiencing negative feelings, accept that yes, I'm experiencing this, then you have to say, no, don't worry. So if I feel this way, I should be able to control it. So you have to find out the way you can control it and should not suffer because of experiencing this feeling. Like let's say if you feel sad, yes, you have to understand, yes, I'm feeling sad, but I can control the sadness. Then you have to look at the way you can reduce this sadness, this emotion, this feeling more and more. So in order becoming aware of your feeling, the second step is accept your feeling and write down, Pute. So just actually I'm not showing this video for the entertainment purpose. Write down the important fact under becoming aware of your feeling. The second tip, very important tip, is accept your feeling.
Find out the root of your feeling. The reason people struggle to express their feelings is because they don't understand them. Try to find out the root of your feeling by asking yourself questions. Here is some example. I feel jealous to my baby brother. Why? Because I like his new toy? No. Because I want to have a new toy too? No. Because I want to have attention? Yes. Then you can find out how to deal with your feeling. Recognize how your body is reacting to your feelings. Sometimes you may find it is hard to define your feeling. Take note of your physiological responses when you feel something. Keying into your bodily responses will help you recognize feelings. Here is some example. You might sweat when you feel scared. Your face might become warm when you are embarrassed. Your heart might race when you are angry.
Actually, that is the body reaction, Pute. Actually, we discussed about the different body reaction under different 6 emotions. So these are the few body reactions which we experience under different emotion.
Your face might become warm when you are embarrassed. Your heart might race when you are angry. Dissect complicated emotions. Sometimes you feel multiple emotions all at once. For example, if you need to move to a new place, you may feel worry about your new life, homesick from your existing life, excited to meet new friend. It is important to disentangle these emotions from each other so you can process each one on its own. Expressing your feelings to others. Use I statement. Reframe your statement by saying, I feel, instead of you make me feel. That will make people focus on your feelings.
Always don't accuse the other party. That is the meaning of this expressing your feeling to the other. I feel anger, I feel sad. So don't tell, you make me feel sad, you make me feel angry. So always acknowledge that it is experiencing by you, and then you can convey it to the other party that you are really hurt because of their behavior. But don't tell that you make me feel. So you tell, I feel angry because I saw that you did not give me that book on time. So likewise. Okay, so I'm happy because I feel anxious. So you have to acknowledge that it is experiencing by yourself.
I statements have 3 parts: the emotion, the behavior, and the why.
Look at this example. I feel sad. Sad is the emotion when I lost my teddy bear. Behavior because the reason why, because you lost your teddy bear, because I love it so much. Okay, so therefore I feel sad is your emotion, then red color is your behavior. I lost my teddy bear when I lost my teddy bear, because the reason is I love it very much. Okay, so look at the green color is emotion, then red color is behavior with the compare with the example, and the orange one is the reason. When you always try to explain your emotion, always tell what is the emotion you are experiencing. So what is the behavior, that mean the behavioral response for it, as well as why you are really bothered about that emotion. It is really important to express your feeling.
Be honest. Try to express yourself by being honest, direct, and positive.
අපි කියන්නේ හදවතින්ම කතා කරන්න කියලා. So it's really needed. So හිතේ එකක් බඩේ එකක් කියලා කතා කරන, when you want to express your emotion to the other party, you have to be very genuine.
Let the conversation be organic and do not get upset or offended by the person's response. Remember, there is nothing wrong in expressing your feelings to others. Communicate to others clearly. Choose a trusted group of loved ones to share your feelings with. As you are talking, be as clear as possible by using your vocabulary of feelings and I statements. If you are sharing how a situation made you feel, clearly describe the situation and the resulting feelings. Listen to others. Communication is a two-way street, and you must learn to listen while others speak.
So whenever to express your emotion, my dear student, don't express only your emotion. Let other people to talk to you. So if she has an idea, if he has an idea to convey to you, let him to do it. So sometimes if you feel you may experience emotion, but the other party did not do anything to create that emotion. So therefore, you have to. It's a two-way street. First, you have to communicate your disappointment or your happiness. Then after, you have to provide an opportunity for the other party to speak. That means you should learn to listen.
Others sometimes can provide different perspectives on situations that you might not have considered. They can be a valuable sounding board that can help you work through your feelings. Seek professional help if you are struggling with expressing your emotion. There is nothing wrong with you if you are struggling to express your feelings. You might need to see someone who is trained to talk about feelings. Help you express your own. Get at the root of why you cannot express your emotion. Expressing your emotions privately. Take deep breaths. Deep breathing is scientifically proven to relax you and lower blood pressure. If you breathe before you react, you can clear your head and react responsibly. Being alone. Sometimes you may want to be alone. It is good for you to figure out your feelings. Find a quiet and comfortable place to sit and think about each feeling. Write your feelings down. Putting your feelings into a tangible form will help you organize and clarify your feelings. Try to describe your feelings in terms of colors, weather, or music. Engage in exercise. Physical activity is one of the best ways to release excessive anger, stress, and anxiety. Other ways to release your feelings are to do yoga, give yourself gentle face massages, and engaging in activities you enjoy. Treat yourself. When feeling positive feelings, keep up the momentum and treat yourself better. You can reward yourself for these good feelings by going shopping, indulging in a dessert, or going out with friends. Tips. The way you express your feelings is a choice that only you can make. You can respond negatively or positively.
Actually, when we talk about when you're expressing your feelings, actually the different tips you can be used, like you can express your feelings in a negative manner or a positive manner. So, but always as a person, we should take necessary action to express our emotion in a positive manner, because we all are human. We come to this world not to hurt the other people. But if we are really happy, unhappy, or sad or anger because of the behavior of the other party, doesn't matter. Please try to convey that feeling to the other party in a very polite manner. It is really needed. Okay, so in order to reduce your steam, in order to blow your steam, you have to convey it, you have to communicate it, but you should provide an opportunity for the other person to talk as well. But even though you are experiencing negative feeling, but when you try to convey that feeling to the relevant party, always we should take necessary action to convey it in a positive manner. So I'll stop from this point, the second part of this emotion lesson. I'll be discussing the third. I'll be discussing three important components of emotion. Then after few theories of emotion will be discussed, and then later on, if time permits, I'll be discussing emotional intelligence. But my dear students, under intelligence, I'll be discussing emotional intelligence. I think it's better to discuss. I will give you a very mere idea what is emotional intelligence, but definitely I will be discussing emotional intelligence under lesson intelligence, like intelligence is a cognitive process. I'll be discussing intelligence, emotional intelligence. අපි කියන්නේ චිත්ත වේගාත්මක බුද්ධිය කියන දේ I'll be discussing with you under the next lesson intelligence. But if the time permits, if time is remaining, definitely I will explain you this emotional intelligence since it is involved with emotion. But anyhow, from part 3, I'll be discussing with you 3 parts of emotion and few theories of emotion as well. So thank you very much for being with me. Thank you very much for your engagement with part 2 of lesson emotion. And I'll be I will meeting you in the next the last part of this lesson emotion, part 3. Again. So thank you very much and have a nice day.